Hey, it's Will from Guitar Center here at NAMM 2014, and I am joined by Dave of Aguilar, and he's going to tell us about, it looks like 5 new pedals for this year, 2014.
Thanks, Will. The first pedal I'm going to show you is called the Optimizer. The Optimizer reproduces a sound an octave below your bass sound. It's for a great low-end bass sound. You have a 6-pole filter for creating the octave effect. This takes you from a very round, dubby sound to a sawtooth type of sound. You have a volume control for the octave sound. You can blend in the clean sound with a separate volume control for the clean tone. What's really special about this pedal is this is a clean tone control, and it's a tilt EQ. So as you roll it over to this side, you roll off the low end and increase the high end. And in that way, you can get a doubling effect. Or if you roll it back this way, it'll blend in more with the octave effect, and you can get a synthesizer type sound. It's a great effect for bass players.
Very cool. Very cool. What do you have next for us?
The next pedal I'm going to show you is the TLC compressor. Now the TLC compressor is special because it features an infinite compression ratio. This means to the bass player that you could do peak limiting, which is very important for a bass player because you want to be able to set the threshold just out of range of your highest notes, set a high ratio, and just have the compressor control your dynamics as opposed to destroy your dynamics. So you can go from slope is the same thing as ratio, the slope control, goes from 2 to 1 to infinity. And of course you can control your threshold. This is the quickness of the attack of the compressor, how quickly it compresses, and this is the gain makeup that you need when you're using a compressor. That's the TLC compressor.
Bassists, you got to have it. You need it, seriously. What's the next one?
This is the Filter Twin. What's special about this pedal is most people are familiar with the kind of bootsy funk sound of a filter that sweeps up. So it sweeps up to the note that it's following. This one sweeps up and sweeps down, and you can blend the two effects and get a very vocal-like quality because your vocal cord has that kind of complexity. So it's a great effect that you could use for the whole song, not just the funkiest parts. So this is the control that blends from all downward effect, all upward, and everything in between, threshold, and velocity for each one of the filters. That's how quickly it follows the note that it's chasing and creates the effect.
So now you can get really funky, but you can also set it so that you can play it and it doesn't have to be purely funk, so you can really bring it out when you want it and really tone it down.
Yeah, it can be a great kind of vocal quality effect. And the most important thing is that your low end doesn't go away. All the Aguilar pedals, the low end stays right there. It's harmonically complete and dynamically interesting.
Keep that rich low end that really fills out a mix and really fills out a sound, for a band.
You wouldn't ever want to have a bass effect that was thin and, that would be a bad idea. The Agro is a distortion pedal. It features saturation that goes from just slightly distorted to full-on heavy metal kind of sound. What's special about this pedal is that for a bass player, you need to control the mid-range in the distortion. Otherwise, it's going to get muddy very quickly. So you have a presence control. This controls the high end and adds intelligibility as you add more saturation. The contour shapes the mid-range. So you can flatten out the mid-range, increase the high end, crank up the distortion, and get any kind of level that you need on it. This is level to control your output, obviously. And that's the Agro, so it's a great distortion pedal.
Awesome, and I know from experience that when you have that muddy kind of distortion sound, it really, it kind of seems counterintuitive, but you want that clarity in the distortion so that it really cuts through and it's got a lot of punch. That's
a fact, and with the presence and contour control, you can kind of tune the distortion so you get the amount of definition you need with the distortion.
That's rad, that's rad. And I think you've got one more for us. Gosh, these are awesome, I want them all.
Well, I know where you can get them. GuitarCenter.com is what I'm thinking. So this is a Tone Hammer preamp DI pedal. This is a very popular pedal for us. It has a fully sweepable mid-range frequency. So you can get the mid-range that you want to control, cut and boost on the treble and bass. It has a special circuit called AGS, and this is a circuit that adds more harmonic richness and output. What's also important, a pedal like this, it has a very good DI. You can see you have pre and post for the bounced output. Runs off an 18-volt supply or 2 batteries. It's a very good pedal. A lot of producers and engineers buy them, and obviously a lot of bass players. It has enough output that you can actually use the unbounced output to drive a power amp. So if you're going on a situation where you can't take an amp at all, you could take this and go into a power section.
Well, we just went over 5 incredible, incredible pedals. You got to hear them to believe them. Any kind of sound you want to get, keep that low end, have that clean distortion and a crisp, clean sound. Dave, thank you so much for your time and for your expertise and for creating these pedals that make us sound good, right?
All right. You know, you're welcome, and thank you to all the musicians out there making good music.
Awesome. Hey, check out GuitarCenter.com. Pick one of these up today.